Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Picnic Table Chat Show. I hope you can hear me, and I hope the signal's not too bad. It's giving me a little warning at a minute. It keeps dipping in and out. I think I've actually got an update downloading at a minute, so it's using a lot of data, but I don't know if it's... I don't know, but it seems to be dipping in and out. Hello, and welcome back to episode 11 of Season 8. Wow, what a number. Wow. Yeah. we won't even get into that. Tonight's probably going to be somewhat of a shorter episode, mainly because as I was writing my script, I didn't have nothing to write down. I've got a few things written down, but I really did get stuck tonight. I've not had a very exciting week since Sunday. I've mainly just been doing paperwork and risk assessments and things like that. So let's just have a little chat. Obviously, we got the leaf cutters out tonight. I say out, they're always here, they're always in their enclosure. We've got the leaf cutters on screen tonight. I've just given them some candy as well, and that's why they're acting in this way and not particularly cutting leaves at the moment. But they do like their ant candies. They need that little bit of sugar top up as we're like pre-pulling the leaves. The sap which is held within the leaves starts to degrade straight away. So giving them that little bit of a sugar top up every now and then is just what they need, you know. So what else is happening? Oh my God, my garden is absolutely teeming with life, right? So have you heard about this No Mow May thing? We do it every year pretty much, but not on purpose. We tend to let the garden grow out until it's like a wild forest. Can I send... Are any of my moderators in stream? If not, I will... I can do that later. But yeah, remind me, Jason, and I can sort it, because apparently none of my mods are in stream at the moment. How annoying is that? God damn. Yeah, so every year we let our garden grow into like a wild mess, then we cut it down, let it grow into a wild mess, and then cut it down, and then it generally lasts till winter. It's just the way we do things. We don't really like harming nature too much, and obviously it is very diverse out there in the insects that we get. In fact, I went out there just a couple of days ago. I did a little bit of filming, if you've seen it. Jumping spiders, grasshoppers, beetles, shield bugs, all sorts of stuff. But I was fascinated by the amount of jumping spiders that I came across. They were literally everywhere. Put my hand down, they were jumping with my hand, which was really cool. Slow worms, yeah, I do get slow worms occasionally, Paul, but I haven't found any yet. I will say I haven't really looked. The grass is very long, and the wife did think she saw something move the other day, but that's just the wife, you know what she's like. But yeah, we probably would have slow worms out there. They do get about on the island quite regularly. But it's really cool, you know. I really like the fact that I could get jumping spiders out there. Like I say, I put my hand out and they were jumping on my hand. So that was great fun. And all the kids really enjoyed it. You know, they like seeing that. So what else? Oh, that takes me on to the next thing, actually. One thing which is sort of exciting and interesting. I mentioned it in the chat already, but we've been invited to an event on the 5th of June. So that is not this weekend coming, that's next weekend. It's right here on Portland. It's an environmental event. I can't really tell you much more about it because I haven't had much more details than that. But it starts at 11 a.m. and finishes at like 4 p.m. It's going to be a great day for the whole family. Lots of things to do and see. We're going with lots of educational bits. Obviously, we'll have a few bits to sell as well. But it's mainly educational bits. Come and hold a spider with us or whatever. You know, we'll be there talking about all the things that we got going on. So that's going to be great fun. Like I say, if you're in the local area, do pop over. It's a free event. It doesn't charge anything to come in and have a look around. And yeah, it's just a great day out. Come and support the local sort of community. It's all to do with the island and keeping the island awesome, I think. Either way, we're going to be there. It's going to be fantastic. My snake, my beautiful, beautiful hog-nosed snake, Steve, we have called him Steve the hog-nosed snake. Thank you, Paul Cook, here in the chat. Came over yesterday and we managed to feed him 2 pinkies. He was quite a hungry little chap. It's the first time we fed him since I've had him, and that's what, coming up to 2 weeks at the end of this week. Is that right? 2 weeks? Yeah, something like that. 2, maybe 3. I've lost track of time, everyone. Oh my, yeah, I've lost track of time. About 2 weeks at the end of the week. So he was due a feed. And he's been doing, yeah, that sounds really cool. Paul. Geckos would go down really well. Yeah, he's doing really well. We had the 2 pinkies. He took them straight away. He did smash it down, yeah. And he wasn't like we were expecting him to sort of chill out, but he's still very active. He was still active that night. He's been very active again today. It was great. Like, so I've actually managed to start holding him and getting used to him. I'm still not great at it, but I am getting the hang of it. Obviously, I've only had him, like say, 2 weeks, and before that, I've never even held a snake apart from the really big one at the show, which belonged to Unusual Pets, who do the reptile encounters. In fact, they're going to be at the Bristol show. So if you're coming to the Bristol show, make sure you do check them out. It's absolutely amazing. They'll be about first thing in the morning. So you want to be first in the queue, 10 o'clock on the door, straight in, so you don't miss them at 10:30, walking about with their snakes and stuff like that. It's going to be super cool. So yeah, it was interesting. Like I wasn't quite sure how it was going to feed. It literally just came up and like started nomming it down. I wasn't sure if it was going to like wrap itself round a little bit or straighten, like, you know what I mean. If it's a big prey, like if it's a rabbit or something, do they have to have a straight body so that they can get it down straight, or I suppose they can curl it with the, I don't know. But it's really cool and it's really interesting because obviously I don't do snakes, and like I've not really witnessed it before. I find it cool, anyways. I'm sure a lot of the other people out there do find snake feeding cool. I thought it was pretty awesome. The way the mouse sort of, there's a word for it that Paul used actually, and I've completely forgotten the word, but it doesn't dislocate, it does something else where it just sort of expands, and it's very, very cool. If you're not into snakes, I would recommend trying to see a snake with someone else, because once you get used to them, they do change your opinion. I was never really into snakes before, but yeah, I've really fallen in love with it. Thank you, Paul, for putting that word in, articulation. How was I going to remember that? I don't know. Hoggies are known for eating the food alive. See, I have seen that, but I don't want to give it live food, mainly because if it doesn't eat the live food, then the live food can start eating him. You know what I mean? Rats, mice, anything like that, they have nasty teeth and they do bite, and they are known to cause damage to your snake if left in there alive with them and not subdued by the snake. It's not worth the risk. Probably not even when he's older. I'm just like that as well. I don't. Oh, good evening, antisocial. Thanks for coming in, buddy. I didn't know you had a royal python. Is it big? They get massive, don't they? Again, I don't know a lot about snakes, but I recognise that name as one of the big ones. It is. It's like I say, it's one of those things. I never thought I'd really be into snakes. I always kind of. I think I've even said it on stream. I was like, "Nah, snakes aren't my cup of tea," But yeah, it really surprises me. Really surprises me. I'm just looking at the water in the tadpole enclosure, and I'm thinking I'm going to top it up. About 5 foot long, so only a little bit shorter than I am. Only live feeding I would ever do is for the lizard. Yeah, that's fair. Lizards, you don't really have to worry too much, apart from when they're molting. 5 foot snake, and pythons, they do wrap around their prey, don't they? They're like, are they constrictors, or is that just boa constrictors? Boas. Am I getting things mixed up? Pythons are venomous. I was so confused. But what's it do when it eats, antisocial? Does it wrap itself round and then just nom it down, or does it need to like bite it and then work it? I don't know. I just don't know. As you can tell, I ain't got a clue with snakes, but they're so cool. Oh dear. So what? Your Besmaries would eat, but there. I can't even speak Burmese. What, a Burmese python? So everyone's got pythons. I don't think I could deal with a python because that's another level, isn't it? I mean, hoggies they get a bit grumpy, but generally they're quite easygoing and pretty useless at biting you. I don't know if I could do with a python when it's just like it could get you anytime. Most snakes are constrictors and will wrap around prey. Even some venomous snakes will wrap. Okay. See, I always think of, I suppose it's anacondas I'm thinking of. The one in the Jungle Book. that's what I think about, where he wraps himself around and then opens his mouth wide and just yum 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 yum. That's kind of what I think of when I'm thinking the snake feeding, but it's not really like that, or it wasn't yesterday. But I don't know. I suppose as he grows, it might be different. It's only the first time feeding it, so every time might be different. He might do something different next time. We're gonna have to wait and see. It's an interesting learning experience, isn't it? Good evening, Mantis Gardens. It's good of you to turn up. I haven't got a lot to talk about tonight because, as you know, I've mainly been doing paperwork and things like that lately. Been trying to catch up with other things. I say catching up. Every time I feel like I'm starting to catch up, a load more work comes my way, and I'm never going to catch up. We are almost completely done on all the sub books rewritings and things like that, which is absolutely spectacular. I want to get them all done before the end of the month when they are due to go out. Um, we are fully caught up on all orders, which is nice. Got nothing outstanding to go out. Fully caught up. Right, so we've got other stuff. Right, so I did the care guides for all the species on the website just a few days ago, or a few weeks ago now. It's a few days ago. It took days, literal days. These things are not fast. And when I make a care guide, then I have to upload it to a separate page on the website in the aftercare section. And it's a whole runaround situation, right? So I thought I was done. We've just started adding new products onto the website. Good evening, Dino. Thanks for popping in even shortly, and thank you for listening in the background, buddy. Yeah, so we've started adding loads of new products onto the website. We've now got Mantis coming on, which is really cool, having Mantis on the website for the first time. We're going to expand the range as we kind of know that they're going to go. We want to start off slow and build up the range as time goes, whatever. I'm losing my words, you know what I mean. Um, and then we have some new ants on the website as well. Some awesome new ant species. We're going to be dealing with some more exotic species as well coming onto the website really soon. So keep your eyes open for all the new additions. Obviously, we got the enclosures coming out soon as well. I am delaying it again because I just want to get it right. I have to have it completely perfect before I release it, because once they're released, that's that. You can't change it. You have to come out with like a this is my new generation sort of thing, but really it's just you fixing a couple of your mistakes. Yeah, I don't want to be doing that, you know what I mean? I want to just, that's the enclosure. It is amazing, enjoy sort of thing. Do you have anything with lots of workers? I do. Send me a PM, Rose Donna, because I tend not to put some of the larger colonies and some of the other colonies on the website. Send me a PM, and I can tell you some of the other colonies that I've got which aren't on the website. Mainly because some of them I just don't want like random people to be able to buy, because they just, if you don't know ants and you go in and you're like, oh, I could get a beginner species, but I'm just going to jump straight in and get whatever this is, it's just going to go wrong for either you or the ants, or they're going to get out. And in the middle of summer, we're about to go into summer now. If ants get out now, even your exotics, even your foreign ants, they're going to breed like beasts, and it's going to be a nightmare for you. You know what I mean? So some of them I just don't put on the website. But yes, feel free to send me a message, and I shall give you a list of what is not on the website. Slightly larger colonies. We do have some available, and like I said, we are doing a massive, massive stock update very, very soon. We're going to have big colonies, small colonies, new ant species, exotic ant species, loads of new stuff coming on. So it won't be long. Where you get where you are. Oh, so I just started reading the comments from the bottom, and it made no sense because I was like, I'm not off anywhere. What? Oh dear, oh dear. That teaches me for reading the conversation halfway through. But that is pretty much everything I have on my list to talk about. So if you do have anything you want to ask me or talk about, feel free. I have put the map onto the Bristol page thingy majigger now, so you can check out all the traders that are going to be at the Bristol event. Check out the map, see who's going to be where, and sort of plan out your day. The schedule is up and pretty much full now. You can obviously plan out your day around that as well. It helps to have the map because some of the demonstrations are at different tables and different areas around the room, and then we've got the main stage obviously in one of the corners of the room. So I found that the map kind of helps if you want to plan out where you're going to go on the day at what time. I mean, it's sort of thing I used to do at Download Festival. They had 3 stages, I think it was. Be like, right, I want to see that band, I want to see that one, and at some point I'm going to need a toilet, I'm going to need to grab a burger. So if I take that, it's route planning. It's all good fun. Oh dear, oh dear. And the other thing I was going to say, where do you... Of course. The other thing I was going to say was the raffle is live, and we've got some brilliant prizes for the raffle. They're coming in quite thick, actually. We're getting quite a few different prizes being donated. Some really cool prizes, actually. Not all AMP related. We got some random stuff as well, and some really interesting invert related stuff. So do check out the raffle. Check out the prizes. It's under the merchandise section on the website, or if you go on the main page, pretty much anywhere where it says raffle, click on it. It should take you to raffle. The tickets are £2.50. If you get you get 5 for a tenner or £2.50 individually. We can send them to you in paper form, or we can just send you in the email with your numbers in. The raffle will be done on the day at Bristol. I'm not quite sure when yet. I think it's going to be the end of the day because that's probably the only time we've got free. It will be more than likely on the main stage. We will try and live stream it as well. All the winners would then go up on the website. If you weren't at the show to collect your prize, it will be posted out within the following 2 weeks. We've got a 2-week time span because obviously after a show it takes me a couple of days just to get myself back on track and back into work mode. And then so we're giving ourselves 2 weeks, but everything will be in your hands within 2 weeks. So check out the raffle. It all helps massively, and it's awesome. Why not? Off after this. I'm so confused by the chat. I'm just kind of ignoring it slightly. I'm going to have a sip of my energy drink. And yes, I am drinking energy drink. I'm on these Cherry Relentless at the minute. I don't know if you tried Cherry Relentless. I won't recommend it because that's bad. But it's really nice. Now, something I don't know if I have mentioned is my tarantula enclosure that I set up just before the Weymouth show. I didn't have a lot of time to set it up. I probably should have taken more time, but I just didn't. And although it was a better enclosure than where it was in a much smaller lunchbox, it wasn't ideal because the sides of the enclosure were just too smooth. And even though they've got little hooks on their feet, he was sliding down, like he'd get halfway up and slide back down, and it's just not ideal. You don't want your tarantula falling, especially landing on the abdomen or whatever. So I stuck in some more sticks, basically. I've got loads more wood. Obviously I have loads of driftwood. Again, driftwood, I don't put that on the website, but we've got tons of driftwood that I do sell as well. We go foraging down at the beach quite often after a storm, go get some awesome driftwood. But so I got some driftwood in there, and he's really happy. He's made his web now against the glass of the front door, which is absolutely typical. So I have to use the other door and hope that he doesn't run across and get me. Luckily, if he tries to run across the glass, he'll probably slip down. So he might not be able to get me that way. But either way, it's a bit like, oh, for God's sake, why did you choose there? But it's probably my own fault for putting the wood there. It's a really comfortable place. I can see where he is right now. He's literally just sat there on the wood and he's happy. He built his web literally over the first night. So that goes to show you how much he's enjoying that new space in the enclosure. I've got so many empty tanks at the minute. I've got more coming as well, but I've got at least 4 empty tanks at the moment and smaller enclosures which are empty as well. So I am looking to fill them very soon, get some new stuff in probably. I've got some ants that I'm looking at and some other things that I'm looking at, but I'm not going to obviously let out too much information just yet, mainly because if it doesn't happen, it'll make me look rather silly, won't it? um, yeah, please do. After the cherry ones are nice at minute. Yeah, the cherry what monster with apple. Monster White. Okay, I don't. The raspberry one that I can't remember if it was Relentless or Monster, but the raspberry one was quite nice. It's in like a white can with a purple rim. The cherry one used to be nice, but they changed. See, I just don't know. I've only started. I went through years of not even drinking fizzy drinks, and then I don't know. It's oh dear, God, that. Um, in the last, I don't know, probably a year, I've started drinking more. I went on to Lucozade to start with, and it just wasn't giving me the. Probably what it is, right? Is I used to drink pre-workout. Now, if you haven't had pre-workout before, it's a drink that gym goers use to get pumped up before like a big lift or a big gym session. It's basically like 1 million grams of caffeine, not quite a million, but it's a lot of caffeine and a load of other stuff. But it's not fizzy, so I used to drink that, and I'd whack that down, and it would you give it about 5 minutes, and your lips start to tingle, and then your fingertips are giving you pins and needles, and you're just so pumped up you have to lift. It's like elephant testosterone or something, but it's not. It's nothing like. It's not steroids, but you know what I mean. It just pumps you up, and you're just ready to go because of the caffeine. So that's probably why I need relentlesses now, because I don't have pre-workout in my blood at all. I sometimes I'll have it every day for a week. It's sort of thing. I mean, people on TikTok do dry scooping of it. I don't know if you've heard of that, where they literally just scoop some of the powder up and straight into their mouth. Now, I've never done that, but I know people would do it. But they started doing it on TikTok, and someone did like 8 of them. He died from a heart attack because your heart just can't take that much caffeine. It's just ridiculous. uh, and if you don't drink them, you're edgy and agitated. Yeah, when your lip, yeah, it's not a great sign when your lips start tingling, but that's what it does. It's pretty awesome. I gave a little sip to my wife once just to see her reaction, and she was like, "But why do you do this to yourself? But why?" It was brilliant. She was tingling all over, and it was horrible. I will say, like I say, if you have too much of it, it does make you ill. If you're not gonna go train, I don't advise taking pre-workout. In fact, I probably wouldn't advise taking it, even if you do train, unless you're under directions from a coach. Bear in mind, I competed at a professional level. I had many coaches involved with me, even dietitians and stuff like that. So I was well controlled with my intake of things like that. But I wouldn't recommend it to just anybody. Same thing happens with. Oh man, I cannot do spicy curries. I am. You can call me what you want, can't do spicy food. I've got a really bad stomach. Bear in mind, like half of it's fallen in pieces. I don't want to agitate that even more. So, yeah, I tend to stay away from spicy food. I do like spice, but not when it's like just spice and heat for the sake of it. I like the flavors that come with it. I'm really into nice spicy, like nice spiced food, if you know what I mean, nice flavored foods. But I don't like the heat to overpower it. And now, let's say my stomach just can't handle it. I do still have the chilies when I get a kebab. That's about as far as I can go heat wise. And like I say, you can call me what you want for that, but it is what it is. The wife does not eat any spicy food at all. Um, the kids don't either. So, I mean, I love chili con carne. That's a little bit spicy. I do like my spicy foods, but I know my limit. I know I'm going to suffer the next day. Yeah, you lived in India for years. Yeah, yeah, and your wife's African. Okay. Um, I would see. That's the thing. I would love to try it, and I would probably ask you for a small portion, just a small portion, because I do enjoy foods like that. But I would have to have just a small portion because after like a little bit, I'd be burning. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't want to like waste your food, but I would definitely want to try it, especially with Indian and African influence. That would be pretty cool, you know. But I do love foods, and I do love experiencing new foods. But like I say, I just got to be careful on certain things. I'm always a little bit funny about chicken, right? I'd much prefer to have pork or lamb or something like that, even beef. But chicken, I don't know why. I've always been a little bit kind of edgy, weary about it. It is what it is. Good night, Rose Donna. Thank you for coming in and sleep well. A brother-in-law from Nigeria. He makes these meat patty things. That okay? Yeah, I think I know what you mean. They're like little meat pasties, aren't they, Jason? Things like that are awesome. And again, I do enjoy that, but it's just after a while it gets too much. When the stomach starts to hurt and I'm bent over in pain, I've got to stop eating. But if it's still sat on the side, I will continue to eat it. I'm a nightmare. And the wife's like, "Why? Why are you eating it? Just put it down." It's like, "No, I need to finish this, whatever it is. I need it because I'm an idiot." uh, the sun is setting outside. It's absolutely lovely. You can see the reds and the purples, and we've got the moon right in front of me as well. Nice clear night tonight. It's been quite lovely weather actually over the last week or so. I hope everyone else is having lovely weather as well. We had that storm. What was it? Last Saturday, Sunday, sometime. We had that nasty big old storm, didn't we? Apart from that, or Friday it might have been. But apart from that, it's been yeah, it's been nice weather. No, I'm not doing the one chip challenge. I might have the one flake of the one chip challenge, but I've never even had peri because I know it wouldn't be good for me. But yeah, I see. I'd like to say I'd give it a go, but I know I just wouldn't. I'm too sensible. I'll do other stupid stuff, but the one chip challenge just ain't for me. So break it up into a million pieces, and I might have a flake, but I know my limits, and that is way past my limits. See, someone said when I get to 1,000 subscribers, I should get stung by my bullet ants. But again, I just like, nah, no, I'm all right. If I was young and stupid still, but I'm just old and sensible now. I've kind of done all the stupid stuff when I was younger, and I'm fed up with causing myself pain now, I suppose. At my works, we did a chili challenge, and that was 4 million Scoville. Yeah, I could. The smell of what is the? You've never seen the one chip challenge, man. It's literally it's like a Dorito chip that's made out of like the hottest hot stuff ever, and it's just super hot. And like people try and eat it, and I think you gotta go like 10 minutes without milk or any kind of anything. I don't know. There's a time limit or whatever, and yeah, most people can't do it. People cry, like their mouths swell up. It's pretty funny. You got to film yourself doing it. If you do, make sure you send me a copy because that'd be brilliant. In fact, just put it on YouTube. Just go on Simon, order one. I think they're on Amazon probably. Order one in, put it on YouTube. We all want to see you do it. You got a YouTube channel, so we can say that to you. Have it on a curry. Yeah. Use it instead of a papadon. Like, yeah, that would be brilliant. That'd be brilliant. I would actually like to see that actually. On a Vindaloo or something. You should get a Vindaloo and do the one chip with the Vindaloo or whatever. If your curry's hot, just do your curry. And it would be amazing. Yeah. I'm just imagining that would literally, like, you destroy the internet overnight. People would go nuts. I don't know why things like that get watched so much, but we all do watch it, don't we? Oh, Jason's going to order you some, Simon. Now it's done. You can't back out. Someone else is providing it. You can't say no. Oh my God. We're going to kill someone this way. I hope not. Public liability. Like, if anyone dies from eating super hot curries after listening to this stream, it is not my fault. It is. It's basically a Dorito crisp, Mantis Garden, like a triangle crisp. It's a crisp. Of course, it's crunchy. Why can't you eat? No teeth. I can eat the bloody crisp. I've got no teeth. Suck on it, or soak it into the curry for a bit. We'll break it up for you. All right. I'm sure. I'm sure you'd be able to eat it. You can't soak it in water first, Jason. That's like giving him water. You can't give. What? Stop making his life easier. Ah, dear. Dear, oh dear. God, there's a lot of ants eating those sugars, isn't there? Right, I am heading towards the end of the stream now. I need to get some food in me. I need to get to bed. I've got another long day tomorrow. But if there is anything you want to know or ask me before I go, now is the time to put it in stream. I'll give you another few minutes before I really disappear. And obviously, I am about via message until I pass out to the world. So do send me a message if there's anything that I've said, message me about, or if there's anything you want to message about. I've just read that last message, Jason. I'm not going to repeat it on worries that I get like blocked or something by YouTube, but yeah, you could do that. No, that would be. Has anyone done that? Do you think someone's done that on you? I'm going to look that up and see if anyone has snorted the one chip challenge and how it went. I expect it caused a lot of blood because it would damage your sinuses, wouldn't it? Because it's not. It would damage your sinuses. Like it's not the same as your throat. It would damage your sinuses. In fact, I think someone got damage in their voice box from it, didn't they? Because it swelled. Good night, antisocial. Thanks for coming in, buddy. But yeah, that's interesting. I'm gonna have to look that up in a minute. Well, that's what I'm doing once I've got some food in front of me. All right, so it's been an absolutely fantastic time again. Sorry it's only a short one tonight, but I just really didn't do a lot in the last few days. I've got a bit of a busier few days coming up, so we'll have more to chat about on Sunday. Do come back for that one. It should be a fun stream. I've got a couple of things planned out already. Mainly because I realised tonight was going to be quite a short one. I thought I'm going to have to put some extra effort in for you all. So I do hope you enjoyed this. Yeah, that's probably a good idea, Jason. I do hope you've enjoyed this episode. Let's see, do come back for another one on Sunday. Massive thank you, of course, to my patrons, my sponsors, and really just all of you for coming in. You're absolutely fantastic. Keep it going as you do. And let you all say goodnight to everyone. Don't want to cut you off early. Yeah, massive thank you, really, all of you. Dino, have a massively or awesomely good time. I keep saying, have a brilliant time away, man. It's going to be weird you not being about for a few days, but I'll still be messaging you. You know, whatever. But have a good time, well deserved little break. Good night, everyone else. Like I say, message me if you want me. I feel like I'm forgetting to say something, but I'm just going to leave it like that. So, as always, from me, I'll see you again soon, Ant fans. Good night.